Well, hello everyone and welcome to my hobby home. I'm so happy to have you here. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Today, we are going to be assembling our Preppy quilt. If you have been joining us, you know this has been going on all of January, all of February. This will be our last sewing session. So, I am going to show you what I've done. I have gone ahead and cut. Now, the pattern does not call for borders, but I have cut a 4-inch piece here. So, of course, that will be a 3.5-inch border once it's completed. And I have cut 6 inches. So once that's bound and everything, that will be a 5.5-inch border. So what we are going to do, I'm going to grab my pieces here and start piecing them together. And guys, we can chit chat and get it done. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm putting my piece that I already had pieced together, assembled. I am taking my next piece and I'm making sure this is the right direction. It is. I just fold it over and then I start assembling. Now remember, this here, we do have to offset it. Let me find where it offsets. Right here. So my first white piece is going to go to the first print block. And what I will do is I will just start nesting my seams here for where my blocks come together. And I will pin them and then we will sew them, guys. It's just that easy. Just that easy. So how are you guys doing this beautiful Saturday morning? I hope well. I am doing fabulous. I'm so excited to be sewing again, guys. I'm just happy to be in here. It's going to be a very busy week. Last week was very busy as well. I did work on a lot of projects. I don't know if y'all have seen them all yet, but you will. You'll see them all. Everything I've worked on. Right now, I just really can't remember how I release things, so I'll kind of give you guys a little heads up on how I do this. You know, last weekend was my first time back in the sewing room, you know, after a decent time. A decent time for me is a week. That's a long time. That might as well be a year. Because I'm normally in my sewing room every day. And I know I told y'all I was going to be slowing down. I have slowed down a bit, but I had enough videos for the whole week after the weekend because, y'all, I was so excited to be able to sew. I just got in there and started doing it. Y'all will see some finished projects pretty soon. If you haven't already, because like I said, I do so many, I don't remember how I've gotten them uploaded and released or whatever. I don't know because I forget. I just want to sew. I don't want to have to remember things, guys. Don't want to have to remember things. But I am so enjoying doing this quilt. I have really enjoyed doing this quilt. I can see this coming out beautiful with like a dark background and some flashy colors. You know, maybe some Tula Pink, maybe some Anna Maria, some Robert Kaufman maybe. This is a beautiful pattern. And I guess it's really easy for me, even though it's a on-point quilt. There's so many seams that can nest. I find it really easy to do. This will be the first on-point quilt that I have finished. The only other one that I've actually worked on well, I've got 2 that I've worked on. The land that I love that I'm currently doing with Tammy that we do every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. So that one is an on point quilt also. But I have one other, and that was the Brown Bag Mystery Quilt 2024. And I haven't finished that one either. So that one is on my radar now. I mean, I think I'm probably going to try to finish projects that I have going, even though it's landed in the UFO pile. I think I'm going to try to finish, some of my started projects. And, maybe. I mean, that's always the plan, is to finish started projects. But maybe we can get that one done. I don't know how far that one is from being completed, but I would like to get that done. That's another... Ouch. Poking myself, y'all. Poking myself with all these pins. That's another project that's done in Christmas fabrics as well. This one is done in Christmas fabrics too. That's why I say as well. I'm going to move my border fabrics out of the way. This pattern does not call for borders though, so don't think you have to put borders on your quilt. I'm just doing it because I wanted it to be bigger, but I'm thinking I need more backing fabric because I think I only got like 3 yards, and I think I probably, and 3 yards wouldn't be enough to do the backing for this. Because I think this one called for like 3.5 or 3 3/4 yards, something like that. I think when I bought this, I just bought 3 yards thinking, okay, that'll make a good lap quilt. But I don't want this one to necessarily be like a lap quilt. I want it to be like a sofa quilt. And if you know what I mean when I say a sofa quilt, I want it to be bigger than a lap. Maybe even like a twin size quilt. And y'all, it is so hard sewing these things with the let me show you, with this on the bigger piece. Let me say, the piece that's already pieced together, it's hard sewing with that on the top. It's actually easier to sew with the one strip on the top, but the one strip is longer than the other strip. So just for ease of making sure everything catches, I put the longer piece on the bottom. But I don't know, that is making this hard. It's making piecing it hard. But do it however you feel most comfortable sewing it. I'm always trying to find easier ways to sew things. So I don't have one particular way I sew anything, because I'm still trying to find my groove on it, I guess you could say. But today I am going to sew till I completely finish putting my borders on. I know I will have to trim some of this. See, some of these, I know some of my big triangle pieces were bigger than they should have been. So I know there's going to be trimming off on those. What I'll have to do is, I think probably what I need to do is find my 1/4 inch and treat them like a flying geese, or anything that you have a point. You know how you have to have that 1/4 inch above it for a seam. I think that's what I'm going to do, is find my points and do my 1/4 inch based off of my points. because I do know I need to trim up my quilt. And I know when I said something about that in a video, and a lot of people are like, well, if you square up your blocks while you're sewing, you won't have to do that. Well, the thing for me is I don't do weird fractions. Not that I don't know how to cut them. I know where they're at on my ruler. I can do that, but for me, it's just easier to do it the even number, like a whole number instead of a fraction number, and just trim it down, because that way I know I'm giving myself enough leeway in case I overstitch a 1/4 inch. I know I'm still good. I know I'm not going to, it's not going to be too small for me to trim down, because I fully intend on trimming down anyway. And y'all make sure your irons are heated up so you can press these seams out as you go, because I have to do that. If you're anything, which I don't expect a lot of people to be like me, but when I do a row, I have to press that row immediately, because if I don't, it won't get pressed. And then I'll have Miss Ava not happy with me because none of my seams are pressed when she goes to long arm, and they going crazy on her. We don't want to upset Miss Ava. I've been seeing photos where the previous owner of the quilt shop, Miss Dee Dee, but she's enjoying her retirement, and I saw the other day where she had something on her long arm. It's beautiful. I love seeing the work that the ladies do at the quilt shop, because, you know, it just gives you so many great ideas. And I have so many boxes of great ideas over here that I've got to get on. I've got I think it's called Chatsworth. I have that over here, but I've got to get my flying geese papers to do that, because I'm going to do that by the papers, because I'm not a real good flying geese person, y'all. But then I also have that pattern that I picked up not too long ago. That's why it's so bad for me to go in the quilt shop, because I see a new line they have, and I told y'all I went in and I was like, oh, does that have a pattern that goes with it? Of course it does. Of course it does. Yes, it does. So, and y'all saw it. I brought it and I showed it to you guys. So that is on my table to be doing too. Well, I haven't cut anything out. It's all still in its little box over there. Just waiting. Just waiting. Okay, guys. Got that row on there. This is so exciting. So I think this time, this next row, I think we're going to be adding a corner piece on here. So let me grab the piece and we'll start pinning together. Okay, guys, I've got it pinned together. I had to wrangle it there for a second. That's why I didn't show you all of that. But this time I'm trying with my smaller, just my one strip. I'm trying that one on top this time. But these pins are still dangerous. Oh my goodness, still dangerous. I know I'm going to poke myself. Whew. I'm scared of them. These pins are like a landmine, y'all. I'm scared they're going to get me. Oh my goodness. Whew. Got so many of them in that piece right there. Oh my. I probably should have pinned that right there too to make sure that stays even. I'm going to go on and pin that real quick, because this first block here, I will show you. I have my triangle on that first solid block. So I have to make sure it doesn't move so it stays good and even there. Make sure I'm on that 1/4 of an inch before I put that needle down. And y'all, I've been seeing some photos in the Facebook group. They are looking fabulous. I'm so excited. They're looking so good. The quilts are coming along. And I know last week after we sewed together, I saw the picture of when, and I think it was Sherry. Is that your name? Sherry? She said she hasn't been able to sew as much, but her sewing time is about to increase. And I hope it did because, man, those colors on that quilt is beautiful. I love the purple and the blues, aqua blue color. I love that. That is so beautiful. But I think my next quilt I'm going to do, I've used a lot of Christmas colors here lately just because I love Christmas, my favorite time of the year. But I think I'm going to use, well, really what I'm waiting on is my instructions for my retreat as to our pattern, and I was going to pull from my stash maybe something I had that I could use, but so far I have not received anything. I don't know if I have a pattern I need to get. I don't know what kind of yardage or something I'm going to need to have. I just don't have a clue. So that's kind of racking my brain now because I don't want to use fabrics that I can pull for my retreat. But I guess if I need, well, I like to have my fabrics cut before I go on retreat. That way, I'm not losing a day of sewing, cutting fabric. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting patiently, trying to anyway. I guess I need to go into her circle group to see if she has anything in there. I don't use a lot of different social medias, so when people, y'all can probably tell that because I don't post in our Facebook group very often. I'm actually so bad about remembering to do that. But I will be able to at least post a picture of this. And a lot of times when I do my updates, I try to at least put the picture because I can take a picture of my wall, my full wall, better than y'all can see it because, of course, it's behind my sewing machine, so you can't see it. And probably today, after I finish sewing this, I'm probably going to be taking it to my long armor, so y'all will probably only be getting, definitely only be getting a picture on the updates Monday with this because it may already be gone to the long armor. Just saying. And I already have my binding picked out for this quilt. Well, I have several fabrics that I can choose from for this quilt. And I hope they have another yard of, let me see if, I don't see it here. Well, like this one here, this is the green one that's got like the vintage like sign looking on it. I have the white like that as my background, backing, not background. I have the white like that as my backing, and I don't think I got enough. I know I didn't get enough, so I'm hoping they have some more of that. And Miss Shayla, if you're hearing this, if you wouldn't mind checking to see, it's the Sweetwater. I think it's called Red Barn. It's the one that looks like it's the printed flour sack. And let me see if I have it. I don't have it right here with me. But if you hear this, check and see if y'all got the cream or white colored one. I need a yard, maybe 2 yards. Pull it for me. I'll be up there to for us to figure out how much I need, hopefully today. And I may just give you guys a call too to see if y'all have it so you can pull it, because I think I'm probably going to need at least 4 yards, especially if we long arm it. I know it has to have that extra 8 inches going both ways. I understand that, but probably going to need 4 yards. But with that being said, I already have 3 yards, but I think I'm a yard shy, because I think when I got it, I was thinking 3 yards would be good enough for a backing, but it's not for this one. Because when I bought the fabrics, I didn't even know what pattern I was doing, but I knew I was making a quilt out of that fabric, because I love this fabric. It's beautiful. And Miss Shayla, if you're wondering which one it is, I have like I said, I have the green. Do I have a white? I think, yeah, it's called Red Barn. It's the Red Barn that's got the writing on it, but it's the white one. So I'm going to press real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, well, this is technically the width of this quilt. Y'all see that? That is technically the width of this quilt. So that's why I am adding on to it. So let's get the next row. Let me throw this up here on the table so I can get the next row and get it pinned on. Okay, guys, I just wrangled another alligator here trying to get all these pins in it. So we're going to have a quilt top finish. Maybe not a quilt finish, but it's a quilt top finish. I'll take a quilt top finish. How about you? But we almost have this one done. I'm down to just a few more rows. And I know I'm not going to bring you guys along for all of that. But if y'all got to go to QuiltCon is, I've not really checked into it, but I know that it's not in my budget. It really was not in my budget this year. I guess I really need to start figuring out where it's held each year to try to get ahead of the game and get an Airbnb. Maybe another quilter would like to go too, and we could split an Airbnb. That's the way to do it, guys. Get you Airbnbs. I know a lot of people don't like the Airbnb because you do have to clean up before you leave, and you just don't really know what you're getting. A lot of times you don't. But go on and get an Airbnb, with several people. If you get a 3-bedroom, get 3 people to go. And split the cost. We love Airbnbs because you just kind of have your own space. You have an actual living room. And a lot of time, like, oops, I just lost a pen. I can't lose pens. Can't lose pens. I got to keep these seams nested. But a lot of times when you go places, I guess like for QuiltCon, you know, Uber is like your best friend. Because I know when my sister and I go, like, to New Orleans or somewhere like that, we'll get a room, like, for New Orleans, for example, we'll get a room on the trolley line, and we'll catch the trolley and just ride it to wherever. Because the trolley, we end up getting a, one of the, what do they call it? Some kind of pass. You know, like a 3-day pass, but it's something, it's called something else. Can't think what it's called. But we pay for a 3-day pass, and we just, when we get on the trolley, we just show them the pass code. You know, we open up their app, and it'll give us a code, and we just show them the code, and we can ride all weekend. I mean, you pay like $12 for the weekend. And what you do is you find a motel on the trolley route that you can have free parking. Because a lot of places that you park in New Orleans is not free parking. But you go to a hotel that has free parking, free guest parking, and then just ride the trolley everywhere. We like to go stay on St. Charles and ride the trolley. We'll ride it to, like, for breakfast, we'll go to, there's a restaurant called Trolley Stop, and it looks like a train, because the trolley looks like a train. Well, it looks like a trolley, really, but, I mean, technically, it's like a train on a track, and they have really good breakfast there, and then we can ride the trolley to Delmonico's for dinner. And at lunch, dinner time, we like Delmonico's or the House of Blues. Now, we haven't been in years. I was telling her not too long ago we needed to take another trip to New Orleans, but I just don't know what the safety of it is right now. I'd really have to look at it just to see if that's something we wanted to do again. But the House of Blues is, we love the House of Blues. But anyway, I was having some stitch issues there. My stitch wasn't showing correct. I don't know what it was showing, but it wasn't showing what it was supposed to be showing. Had to go in there. I don't know how I figured out what it was, but now it's right again. Not that my stitches were wrong. They were still at 2.5 and still doing a straight stitch. I don't know what happened there. But we love New Orleans. I love to go for the artwork, and I actually have some artwork that I haven't hung up that I got the last time we were there. And it's prints. This guy, he does photography and prints. And so I got some prints of his. And they're beautiful. They're in black and white with like a splash of aqua color. They're just absolutely beautiful. And I need to hang them up. I really do. But I have a moisture issue in my house when I hang stuff on the walls, that sometimes moisture comes through the wall into things. I almost lost my son's senior portrait, and that's only on one side of my house. But I almost lost my son's senior portrait because of that. I had it hanging on the wall on the back side of my house, and I had that issue. So I don't hang anything on that side of the house no more. because I'm in a trailer. The room I'm in right now is on the back side of the house. And we have moisture issues on the back side of the house. Well, we actually have moisture issues on both sides, but this is on the side where the marriage line is. We have a hallway on the other side, so the other side is not on the marriage line. The other wall is not on the marriage line. The walls for this side are on the marriage line, and the hallway is on the other side. But we're still trying to figure out what those issues are. I think what it is, because at one time we had an AC guy tell us that we didn't have enough air intake. And all it would take was for us to cut a hole in the wall and put another air intake vent in, because what it's doing, it's pulling so much air that it's pulling air from our ceiling area. Because if you look in the roof, in the ceiling of my house, I have a good 4 feet before you hit the roof. So it's almost like attic space up there, because I have cathedral ceilings. But I have like 4 feet before you hit the peak of my house. And they said what it's doing is it's trying to pull the air from there. So it's pulling that hot, moist air up in there into the house. So that would be an easy fix, but we need to tear walls out of my house to fix it. Okay. I am going to go on and press this, and with the magic of YouTube, I'm going to bring you along to a finished quilt top. So stay with me. It'll be just a second. Well, friends, the magic of YouTube did not bring you to a completely completed quilt, but you will see I do have my top completed. I still need to put the borders on it. Y'all know life happened for me. So let me give you a few little updates. I did, Miss Sheila, you don't have to check to see if you have that fabric. I talked to Ava today, and we both went back there looking for it. Y'all don't have the fabric, but that's okay. Y'all have plenty of other fabrics that I can choose. Trying to think of some things, because that video, part of the video you just watched, was recorded about a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago. And I was not able to release it because I was unable to actually edit that video until now. But I will be adding the borders on this quilt. I will be adding the borders to the Tree of Life. So we will have 2 quilts that will have borders added on it really soon. I'm hoping to go on and get this one done so I can go on and get it to the long armor. Even though they will be going out of town for a quilt show pretty soon. But that's fine. No rush. No rush on this. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this sew-along. We are taking the month of March off to kind of tie up some loose ends of projects that are ongoing. I will be bordering 2 quilts. I will try to start binding some quilts. I will get both of these to the long armor. The month of April, I do have a quilt retreat that I am going to. But I will have a sew-along for you guys in April. I believe I have found the pattern that I will be using. It is going to be for a lap quilt. Feel free to get borders and everything else that you need. I will bring you guys the fabric requirements for this quilt. I think it is a fat quarter friendly. I think it calls for 9 dark and 9 medium and 5 light. I'm not real sure, so please don't go buy anything. You can smash your stash with this pattern. So guys, y'all be looking through your fat quarters, because I think it's a fat quarter friendly pattern for April. I will let you know the fabric requirements in the update on Monday, that y'all see Monday. But this quilt, we do have everything pieced on it except for the borders. I love this quilt. Thank you all for joining me for this sew along. It has been so much fun. I learned a lot doing this quilt. I really did. I've learned how to use my design wall. And I love it. It's fabulous. And guys, I always remember that if there's something in my videos that I use that you are interested in just looking at, you don't have to purchase. I do put the links down in the description below. You can always go down and look at them and click, so you can see exactly what I use. If you're looking to upgrade your setup or upgrade lighting, because I did get new lights. This light is new. This light is not. That's why this side is darker and this side is brighter. But I have upgraded a few things. I have changed a few things. I'm still changing things. So don't get too comfy. Don't get too comfy. I will change things around. I'm still not having the de-stash this Sunday, so we're not having the de-stash this Sunday. It's likely going to be next Sunday for the de-stash. I am still gathering things. I'm trying to kit up some patterns that I have, just so I can go on and get the fabric out also. But yeah, guys, so that's where I'm at on that. But thank you for joining me with this. It has been so much fun. If you have photos of your progress, please go to the Facebook group. Link down in the description for that Facebook group. Post some pictures under the post for this sew along under there. So that will be so much fun to see. I'm excited to see everyone's progress. I do know some people already have that quilt done and started on others. So once again, give me a thumbs up before you head on out. Also, a reminder, we did have a winner for February. As of right now, I have not heard anything from our winner. A clue: if you see a thumbnail with a chicken in it, go watch that video to see who our winner is. Have until tonight, midnight, to or tomorrow, Sunday by noon, because I will be recording my updates for Monday, Sunday night. And I'll need to have your information so I can ship out your gift. So please email me. My email address is down in the description. So that way I can get your package shipped out to you. So by Sunday noon-ish, I will need your information, or I will have to do a redraw. I hate doing that. I don't like doing redraws. I'd like to get gifts to the people that win them. So thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not yet. Double check to make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube is dropping people from channels, I guess, if they don't interact or something. I have noticed, because I watch a lot of my channels on TV and I don't interact with them. Even if you don't interact and you're watching me on TV, you can still give me a thumbs up. I think that will still keep you in in the subscribe mode. So that way you don't have to resubscribe. Because I have noticed that I haven't been getting notifications. So I double checked, and yes, I was no longer subscribed. So now I subscribed and I at least give them a thumbs up. So there is some interaction with their page. So I will stay subscribed to the channels. So maybe y'all could do that. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, guys.